Good afternoon. So, have you started solving problems in Thai? Great. So, whenever you are solving, if you see that 500 error or anything like that, sometimes when you click on the question, you get some error. So, whenever you get an error, please take the screenshot of that page and also copy the link of that particular page and just put in that bug reports. Is that clear to you? I think you are able to see one bug report on the top right corner. So please post it over there. So if you get it 5 times, then do it 5 times along with different links in whichever question you are seeing that particular thing. If you can do that, we will be able to fix whatever problems are there as soon as possible. Is that clear? Great then. Apart from that, if you see any other problems as well, not just this 500, any other problems as well, please you can report it over. And in case if you feel the problem is in the question, then also that you paste the link of that particular thing, screenshot of that, and say what is the problem in that question. You feel sometimes you might feel the question itself is wrong. Anyways. So let's continue solving the problem. So in case if I give you an array and if I ask you to find the sum of all the elements present in an array, can you write the code or not? Yes, product of all the elements in an array, can you write the code? Yes. Minimum number in an array, can you write the code? Yes. Maximum number in an array, can you write the code? Great. Then we have another question over here. Given an array of integer values, array of integers and value k, print the number of occurrences of k. So basically you need to print how many times the k value has occurred. So for example, if I have given the input as 5 and after that I have these values. So 5 inputs are there, 3, 7, 2, 7, 1. And one more value is given and this is your k value. What is the k value saying? 7. So you need to say how many times 7 has occurred in this array. How many times has it occurred? 2 times. So the output of your code has to be 2. Is that clear to you? So is the question understood or? Please write the code. Let me give a simple, close your books. Many have written, many are struggling. So Let's take a simple example over here. I will give you one newspaper article. Is that clear? In that particular newspaper, I want to check how many times a certain number has occurred over there. Is that clear? I want to check how many times they have written 1, 1, 1, how many times they have written. How will you search for that? Are you understanding what I am saying? How will you search for that? Simply you will see like this, or you will go from one end to another end like this. One end to another end, that's how you will go, correct or not? So you will go from this end of the newspaper to this end of the newspaper. So line by line you will search, letter by letter you will search, and you will see whether that is equivalent to that. So same thing has to be followed in our array as well. So for in our case, there is one array provided to us, and along with the array there is one integer value, that is k, is also provided. Is that clear to you? So if I have two things over here, the array as well as the k, what is the first thing that we need to do is, we need to check whether this value is that equal to this. Next, if it is equal, then I need to consider that is my first number. Next, is it equal or not equal? Then I need to go to the next one. Equal or not equal? Equal means 1. Again, equal or not equal? Not equal means ignore. Equal or not equal? Equal means what should I do? 2. Next, I need to go over here. Equal or not equal? Not equal, ignore. So what was the count for you? 2. So that is what? That's how you find it. So if you observe, did I search from this side to this side or not? Yes. So if I need to store it step by step, this is how it goes. So you need one variable to be taken, and the variable has should be count, which is equal to 0. So I have declared that variable. Next, what should we do? We need to pick these elements. So I will pick this element. How do I get AR of 0 or AR of I? I will get this element. I need to check whether this element is equal to this element. Yes or no? No. Yes, sir. No. It is no. So it is not equal. So if it is not equal, should you increase the count value? Should you decrease the count value? Should you do anything? No. Then what should I do is, you need to go to the next element. Is this equal to this element? If it is equal, then what should I do? If it is equal and if it is correct, I need to increase the count value. Is that clear to you? What will be the count value now? 1. So the count value becomes 1. Next, we shall go to the next element. If I go to the next element, are they equal or not equal? Not equal means, should I increase or I should not increase? Should not increase. Again, I need to go to the next element. Are they equal or not equal? Equal. If it is equal, what should I do? Increase the value of count. Count becomes how much? 2. Next, after this, again I need to go to the next element. And if I go to the next element over here, are they equal or not equal? Not equal. Should I increase the count? Decrease the count? Do nothing. Correct or not? Yes. So I will not do anything. Is there any other element to be checked? No element is left out to be checked. So if you observe one thing over here, did we travel from this end of an array to this end of an array or not? Yes. So traversing an array is compulsory over here. If I need to travel an array, should I write a loop or not? Yes. So let's write a loop. So I will be writing a loop over here. And in this particular loop, where are we starting from? 0. So I need to say I is starting from 0. How many index is it increasing every time? 1 index. So I plus plus over here. And what should be the condition? It is going all the way till the last index. So what is the condition to go till the last index? I is less than AR dot length. So that is the code I need to write. I equal to 0, increasing by 1, so I plus plus, and the condition is I is less than AR dot. Any doubts in the loop? It's the same loop that we saw in the previous 2 classes. Now after this, what should we do is, did I keep increasing the count value every time, or did I check a condition every time? I checked a condition whether this is equal to this is equal to this is equal to this is equal to this. This is how I was checking a condition. If you observe, what was I picking? I was picking these elements. And how do we represent these elements? I can represent these elements by saying AR of I. And every time I was checking AR of I with which element? K. So I need to check whether AR of I is that equal to K. So that is a condition we shall write over here. If AR of I is equal to K. Is this clear to everyone? Any doubts in this? Whenever the condition was false, did we do anything? Whenever it is true, did we do anything? What did we do? Increase the count value. So how can I increase the count value when it is true? Count plus plus. So I will say count plus plus. Is it clear? Do I need a else part for this? No need of else part, because when it is false, we did nothing. Is that clear to you? Great. So this is the code you need to write, and once you come outside the loop, all that you need to do over here is return the value of count or print the value of count. Is that clear to you? Great then. So let's write the code for this particular thing. So first of all, what is that I need to do is I need to create a scanner object. So let's start by creating a scanner object. So I am saying new scanner system.in, and I need to give a reference for this called as scan. I'll go to the next line. I need to import as well. So first what I need is n value. So that's an integer value. So I need to write scan.nextInt. So I'll say scan.nextInt, and I will store it inside a variable called as n. And n is of type integer. What is the next step? Create an array. So we'll go to the next line and we will start creating an array. So I will say new int, and within square brackets I will put the n value, I will put a semicolon. On the left hand side I need to give AR, so I will write AR over here. That's the name of the array. Now what type of array it is? Integer type, one dimension. So I will say integer type, one dimension. Is there any elements inside this array now? Even if it's there, it is default values. We need to give our values. So should we write a loop or not? Yes. So let's start by writing the loop. So I will say for, I will say I starting from 0 going till last index I plus plus, and over here what should we write? AR of I is equal to scan.nextInt. Great. After doing all of this, I need, have we taken all the inputs or anything is pending? K value we have not taken. N value is done, array elements is done, K is pending. So I will just duplicate this line and bring it down. Not that, just above that. Why is that? So over here we will take the K value. So I will say integer type K is equal to scan.next. Any doubts till here? So are we done with all the inputs or not? Yes. Now what I need to do is I need to count how many times the element has occurred. So I will say count element. I will write a method called as count element. And for this method, what all should I pass? Array is one thing that I need to pass. Is it sufficient? K value also should be passed. So I will pass both the array as well as the K value. Is this clear to everyone? Now let's start by creating this method. So I'll copy this. Let's go on top. Let's put this code down. Great. Let's paste the method name. So K is what type? Integer type. So I'll say integer type K. Array is also integer type. So I'll say integer. But if I say int like this, is it sufficient or not sufficient? Not sufficient, because this is an integer variable. This is an integer type array variable. So I need to put that square bracket. Since it is one dimension, one square bracket. 2 means 2 square bracket. I'll come inside this. Inside this we need to start with our code. The first thing that we did is we declared a variable called as count. So I'll say integer type count is equal to, what should be the starting value? 0. Then after that, do we need to traverse the array? Yes. For that we need to write a loop. So this is the loop for that particular thing. And over here, did we check a condition? So we need to write a if condition. So this is the condition for that. And what is the condition we checked? AR of I, is that equal to K value? So I'll check whether AR of I is equal to K, and if it's equal, what should we do? Increase the count value. So count plus plus, come outside the for loop, means we have come to the end of the array. Then what should we do? You will have the number of times occurred in count. So I'll say return count. So count is what I am returning. So what is the type of count? Int. So what type of data am I returning? Int. So I need to mention that int over there, and I will also mention it as start. Is that clear to everyone? Any doubts in this? No. Let's go back to the main method. Inside the main method, count element, is it returning you any value or not? Yes. So I need to store it inside a variable called as res. I mean, you can give any name. And I'll go to the next line and print the value of res. Is that clear? Let's execute and check. Any doubts? Great. Let's say 5, 3, 7, 2, 1, 7, 5. Oh, 7. I have to enter. 7. How many times 7 has occurred? 2 times. Are we getting the expected output? Let's re-execute the code. 9. So 9 elements I will give. 1, 3, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 3, 1. How many ones are there? 4. Enter. Also 1. Are you getting the expected output? Yes. Copy this. Array you just copy. Re-execute. 9. Enter that. Last value change it to 2. And enter. I want to check how many times 6 has occurred. So I will say 6. How many times has it occurred? 0. Are you getting the expected output? Yes. I know the code would work, but still it is your duty to check like this. When you do not check like this, that's when it might fail. So try for numbers, positive numbers, negative numbers, all different varieties. First I tried for size how much? 5. Then I tried for a bigger size. But I want you to try for a bigger size, smaller size, positive values, negative values. Element is present, element is not present. Like this you need to start thinking. If you only fix for only one input, then your code will fail. Is that clear to you? And like this, there are some students who have reported, sir, this question itself is wrong. It is not that the question is wrong, it's just that your answer is wrong. Just because your answer is working for one input does not mean it is correct. It will work for one input, it may not work for so many other inputs. Anyways, you want to copy down? Yes? No? Please copy. Those who want to. Sometimes I feel all dead bodies come and sit in the class. No energy at all, 0. What time do you guys wake up? Huh? 5:30. Oh my God. You come here. This problem.
Yes, sir, but I need to print if the value repeats, then only I need to print.
Means?
Means if 3 is repeating 2 times, then I need to print 3. If 4 is repeating, it means we need to print 4. But k value, we should not give like that.
Means you don't want to take the k value, but you need to print
Repeating value.
all the repeating values. That problem we will solve, but not now, after some 7-8 days. I will solve that problem, don't worry. Still you want to solve it, ask me after the class, I will let you know. You know hash map? You know hash map? Hash map. That's why I will not solve now, because nobody knows hash map over here. If you know hash map, then it is easy to solve. Done with this? Yes? Okay. Let's go to the next problem. Given an array of integers and k, print the index of k. So you are given an array and a k value. So for example, if this is the input, first the size is given, that is 8, means 8 array elements are given. After that one value is given. What is the value? 5. You need to say in which index 5 is present. If the element is not present, you need to say -1. Is that clear to you? So in which index it's present? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the output of this has to be what? 4. So the output is 4 in this case. Is the question clear to everyone? Please write. Yesterday you solved it. Good. Solve it now. But syntax is wrong. Closing bracket else for. How many of you have written? Okay. Let's see how many of your answers are correct. So before I solve this problem, let's take one scenario. You know cards where you play, in that there is kings, queen, 2, 3, 4. Yes? So like that I will take a different deck of cards. I will take 3 or 4 set of cards. I will jumble up all those cards. I will shuffle the cards. I will keep some cards aside and some cards I will keep in my hand. And I will give that cards to you. Along with that card, I will also ask you how many times the king is present, that K, how many times it is there in that. So how will you count and say? Checking, you explain that process. Simply checking, if you say, I will not understand. Break it down and say, I am giving you cards. Along with that cards, I am also asking you, I am also saying king. Means you need to say how many times king is present in that card. How will you do it? Sorry? Comparing. How will you compare? How many of you can do it? Raise your hands. Nobody can do it. Then we will cancel programming classes. We will send them to LKG. If I give you cards and if I ask you to identify where the king is there, you can't identify. If I ask you to count, you cannot count. Now I want you to identify whether king is there or not. Can you do it? How many of you can do it? Okay. From here only I will ask the question. Second person. Behind you. Behind you. You. Yes. Yourself. All of you, whoever feel it's you, stand up. You are feeling that it might be you, right? Stand up. Round neck, full arm shirt, black with white dots. You understood the question? What is the question? I will give you cards. You want to see whether that card exists or not. How will you do it? You don't have cards. I can't hear. You want to come here and explain? Mic you want? So, at least participate in the class. Don't be like dead bodies in the class. Many are like, whatever I say, they are still so many, especially this row, first, apart from first 3-4 benches, full row from starting classes I am seeing. Whoever wants to be sleeping, they will go and sit in that. Anyways, so basically if I give you the cards, how will you count? Will you throw it down and you'll say, oh, is it there or not? Or will you pick the first card, second card and then you will do it? Now what you will do is, if cards are given, you will pick the first card. You will check whether that is equal to king. If it is equal to king, you will say yes, it is there. Will you check the other cards or you will stop checking? I just asked you whether that card is there or not. Will you continue or you will stop? Stop. So let's assume I pick the first card. It is queen. Will you continue checking? Yes. You will pick the second card. It is 10. Will you continue checking? Yes. You will pick the third card. It is 7. Will you continue checking? You will pick the fourth card. It is 9. Will you continue checking? You will pick the fifth card. It is king. Will you continue checking? No, you will say, this is the card. Correct or not? Now if I ask you in which position that is available, don't you think every time when you pick a card you need to know the count? Yes. Same thing has to be followed over here. Is that clear to you? Now one more thing I am going to ask once again, because many of you made this mistake while you wrote the code. You will pick the first card. It is queen. Will you say card does not exist? Will you say, or will you continue checking? Continue checking. Remember this, because many made this mistake. Anyways, let's understand. I hope the scenario is understood. Let's implement the same scenario in our program. You are given array of elements. So these are only your cards. Along with this, there is one k value given. This is only I told as king. So what is that you need to do over here? You need to pick the first element present over here and you need to check whether it is equal to this element. Are they equal or not equal? They are not equal. If they are not equal, will you say the element does not exist in the array? Means will you say 5 does not exist? Or will you continue checking? Continue checking. So is there else part or no else part? That we will decide later. So I will increase the value of I. Are they equal or not equal? Not equal. So will you say 5 does not exist or will you continue checking? Continue checking. Next I will go to the next element. Is this element equal to this element or not equal? Not equal. So should you continue checking or not? Yes. So over here, did you check any condition or not? Yes. So if you are checking a condition, you need to write down that condition. And what is the condition we are checking? Yes, we are picking this element and seeing whether this element is equal to this element. Now how do we write that code if you ask me? How do I get this element? AR of I. How do I get this element? K value. So I will check whether AR of I is that equal to K value. Is this the condition we are checking? Then we need to put this inside the if part. Is that clear to you? Now I will again continue over here. I will increase the I value. I will check whether they are equal. Are they equal or not equal? Not equal. Not equal means, should I write the else part for this or I should not write the else part? Okay. Ignore that part. Let's go to the next one. I will come over here. When I come to this element, is the element equal or not equal? Equal. Equal means I found the element. If I find, did I ask you to print yes or no, or did I ask you to print the index of the element? How will you get the index of this 5? I is already pointing to that particular index, correct or not? So should you return I value or not? Yes. So you shall write return I over here. Is that clear to you? Now let's take a simple situation. I am not searching for 5, I am searching for 50. Is that clear to you? If I am searching for 50 and if I compare whether this is equal to this, is it equal or not equal? Not equal means, should I say else or I should not say else? I should not say else, because if you say else, what will you write in else? Return -1. If you write return -1, what happens is 5 equal to 50, it is not equal. So you will be returning -1. But don't you think -1 could be present over here? Are you getting the point or not? Same thing I am asking in your cards as well. When you pick the first card, it is not king, it is queen. Will you say king is not there in this, or will you check all the cards and then you will say whether king is there or not? So when will you get to know whether king is there or not? Only after checking all the cards, correct or not? Yes. Is this clear to you? And when you can stop is, if you find the king, you can stop. But if you don't find, you need to go till the last one. Same thing you need to apply over here. If you find, you can stop here. How are you stopping? By directly writing return. But if you do not find, what should you do? Should you continue or not? Yes. So if you do not find, you need to traverse from that end to this end. Even after coming till here, if you don't find, what does that mean? Element does not exist. Is that clear to you? So if you need to traverse from this end to this end, should you write a loop or not? You know the loop for this? Yes. So this is the loop that we need to write. So this code comes inside this particular loop. Where is I value starting from? 0. I is increasing by 1. So I plus plus. And it is going till the last index. So what should you write? I is less than AR dot length. Is that clear to you? 8 is what has been written, but we need to replace with AR dot. Any doubts in this? No. So, if the condition is true, you will return I. Then when will you return minus 1? When shall you return minus 1? Only after you complete checking from end to end, only then you will return minus 1. Is that clear to you? Means when? After you come outside the for loop. So, once you come outside the for loop, you need to write minus 1 over here. So, that part we will write it in the code. Is that clear to you? So, let us execute and check. So, over here let us go to the main method. In the main method, do we need to take n value? Array has to be created, array elements are taken and one k value. Same as previous question. But over here, should we call count elements or should we find the index of element? So, I will say index of. I need to pass AR as well as K, same as this one. So, let us create a method for this. Great. Let us scroll slightly up. No need that upside code. Great. So, K is what type? Integer type. So, I will mention int over here. And AR is integer type array. So, I will mention integer type array over here. I will open and close the brackets, and inside this brackets, do we need to create any new variables? Did we create any new variables? No. So, simple one for loop should be written. So, I will write a for loop to traverse the array. This is that for loop. And inside this particular for loop, one if condition has to be written. And inside the if condition, what is the condition? AR of I is equal to K. So, I will check whether AR of I is equal to K. If the condition is true, did we find the element? Should we return the element or the index? Index, where do I get? I. So, I will say return I. Great. I should not write the else part, because if I write the else part, this is what will happen. So, I will say else. So, many of them wrote this else, and over here they have written minus 1. So, I will say return minus 1. Minus 1 means what? Element does not exist. So, now what I will do is, I will come back over here. What type of data is I or minus 1? Integer. So, I will say int over here. And after this particular thing, I will also make the method as static. Still it is showing some kind of error for us. Sorry? Oh, after the for loop, okay. So, what I will do is, after this for loop, one more return statement I will add. Why Java is thinking, what if we didn't come inside the for loop? So, we know we will come inside the for loop. Over here I will say return minus 100. Just to differentiate this and this, I am returning minus 1 and minus 100. So, let us execute this program. Oh, we didn't change in the main method, right? Changed? Okay. Great. Over here I will say 5 or 7, you say 7 rather than 5. Enter 3, 1, 6, 4, 1, then 9, 8. Enter. So, what I want to search over here is 9. Is 9 there over here or not there? There. So, basically what happens in your code is, it will check whether this value, first it will compare this value, is that equal to this value. Equal or not equal? Not equal means it will go to the else part. In the else part, what is it doing? Return minus 1. So, will it return minus 1 or not? Then if I press enter, minus 1 will be printed. Is that clear to you? So, should I write the else part or I should not write the else part? I should not write the else part, because if I do not find the element, I check the next element. I should not say the element does not exist. So, many of you have done this mistake. You will continue to do this mistake. So, please put a full stop for this mistake. So, I should remove this particular else part. Is that clear? Now, same inputs I will give, I will execute. If I re-execute this code, and I will say 9, enter. 9 is present in index 5, is that correct? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correct? Re-execute. I will say same input I shall give. Over here I will say 19. 19 exist or does not exist? Does not exist. If I press enter, it is giving minus 100. But you should print not minus 100. What should we print? Minus 1. So I'll change it to minus 1. Is the code clear to everyone? Let's re-execute this. So I'll give the input as 3. I'll give 1, 5, 7. I'll say 6. 6 present, not present? It will say minus 1. Correct answer? Let's re-execute it. I will say 9, 4, 2, 7, 2, 6, 7, 2, 4, 3. Are you done with 9 elements? Yes. Enter. So I want to identify the index of 2. I will say 2. Enter. In which index is it present? 1. So 2 is actually present in multiple places. I just want the first index of 2. And is it giving the first index of 2 or not? Yes. Any doubts in this? No. You want to copy down the code? Please copy. Copy sum, min and max from that and don't do, I will say and now in case if I give the same input, I don't want 1 to be printed. 2 is present here, 2 is present here, 2 is present here. I want the index of the last 2 that is present. What is the index of this? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is what I want to be printed. Means I want the last index of 2 to be printed. Can you write the code for this? How will you write the code for this? Sorry? Count. Okay. Apart from that? Very simple. All you need to do is go from this end to that end. You will find the first one itself is your number. Correct or not? That's all. Some want to count and all that. I don't know why. Can you write the code for that? Yes. So say me, in that code, should you change the condition? Should you change this return statement? This one? Should you change the loop? Yes, I have already taught you how to traverse from last to first. That is the code you need to write. Is that clear to you? That problem is already available in Thai. Please solve that problem. Any doubts in this? Shall we go to the next one? Great. So, what I want to do is, in the class we have previously found out minimum value, maximum value and sum. Have we written separate methods for min, max, sum or not? Yes. Min, max, sum, product, all of that separate methods we have written. So I have actually copied that maximum value once. Oh, this is minimum, this is max. Copy this. Min also you copy. Great. Let's come to our class. I will have this method in our class itself. You can go on top and paste it. So inside one class you can have any number of methods, you know that, right? So I have min method, max method, and I also have the other two methods. Which are those? Count element and index. You can also write last index of and all of that. Now I have a simple question, that you are given one array of elements. Is that clear? So if I open this console, you can see there is array of elements given. What is in that? You will be given n value and only the array of elements. This 2 will not be given. Is that clear to you? So this is the input that is given. What should be the output if you ask? how many times the maximum value has occurred, that should be the output. You got the question? How many times the maximum value has occurred, that should be the output. Which is the maximum value? How many times has it occurred? 2 times. That should be the output. Is the question clear to everyone? How will you solve this problem? How will you solve this? Very simple. Do you know how to find the maximum value? First find the maximum value from this array. Is that clear to you? In case if I need to find the maximum value, all I need to do is go to the main method. Inside this I have the n value, AR, I have taken the inputs for AR. I will remove all this code. Great. Over here, all I need to do is find the max. How do I find the max? Simply by saying max. For that, what should I pass as a parameter? Array. So I will pass the array as a parameter. Will it return me a value or not? Yes. That is my maximum value. So I will store it inside a variable called as max. Is that clear to you? So now I understood, if I open this, as of now, I got the maximum value in this. If one number is given to you, can you count how many times that number is occurring? Yes. Have you already written the code for that or not? What is the code? Count elements. So now I will say count elements in the next line. And for this count elements, what is the array I am passing is same array. But what is the k value I am passing? That is the max value. Is that clear to you? So basically if I again open that particular thing, so now the k value that is getting passed for count elements is 7. Because why it's 7? Because in your max you have 7. Now what will this count element do? It will say how many times this value is present in this array. Is that your answer or not? Yes. I will store it inside res and I will print that answer. And I will go to the next line and I will say system.out.println res. If I execute this code, same inputs you can give. Have we copied it? No. Enter. You can give some random inputs. Okay. Enter. Are you getting the expected output or not? Any doubts in this? Similarly, I don't want to find how many times the maximum value has occurred. I want to find how many times the minimum value has occurred. What is the minimum value in this? 2. How many times has it occurred? 3 times. So I want to identify that. How should I do it? First I need to find the minimum value. How do I find the minimum value? Rather than calling max, I need to call min. So it will give me the value. I will not change the variable name. Variable name same thing. It will not cause any problem. Then after that I need to say count elements. I need to say AR and I need to give this variable. Inside this variable, what is the value you have? Minimum value. Correct or not? So now if I execute, it will say me how many times the minimum value has occurred. Is it giving the right answer or not? Any doubts in this? Is it easy or very complex? It's very easy. Did I write any new logic? No. Same logic I reused. Now many of them in the class as well as in online class was asking me, sir, why should we make use of methods? Are you seeing the advantage of using methods or not? I did not write any logic from scratch. I just made use of 2 methods. I got the answer. Question changed. I also changed only 3 letters. I got the answer. Is that clear to you? This is the usage of methods. One thing, it is easy to maintain. Second thing, are you able to reuse easily or not? That's the advantage of methods. And you are seeing this for smaller codes. When it becomes bigger and bigger, you will see even more better usage of this particular thing. Is that clear to you? So I do know that many of them have still not started making use of methods. How do I know? You need to understand, I can see your code. I can see how many times you have submitted. Not just that, we have also implemented one more thing. When you open the screen, I can see the complete screen recording along with where and all you are moving the mouse as well. Are you angry and typing or are you aram se typing? That also I can see. How the system detects, if you click submit once, twice, thrice, then it will show angry face for me. So like that, I can see, I was just observing how some of them write the code, how do they go and click on int. Some of them for just changing the return type, they are struggling so much. Some of them for parameters, confused. Some of them have made the return type as int and just searching in and around the code, scrolling up, scrolling down, scrolling up, scrolling down, and they are searching for it. All of that is seen. Is that clear to you? Don't worry, that is all to understand. Are you really able to catch up soon, or are you slow for all of these things? Is it clear? If you go to any other window in Chrome, don't worry, I will not see that. Only Thai I will see. Is that clear? So, anyways, for that I will have to hack your system. That's something which we cannot do. So, this is all about it. Any doubts in this? No. Great. So, all these problems are available in Thai. Please make sure you solve this problem. Similarly, count elements, what is it doing is, let's go to the count elements method. What is this method doing is, if you are given an array and a k value, it will see how many times the k value is present, correct or not? I will slightly change the question. I want to know how many elements are greater than k in your array. Can you write the code or not? Yes or no? How would you do it? Just change this condition whether AR of I is greater than k. Is that clear to you? You want to check how many times, how many elements are there which are smaller than k value. Can you write the code or not? Similarly, I will ask how many elements are there which is greater than k value and is an even number. Can you write the code? Similarly, lesser than k value, odd number. Can you write the code? Like this, so many combinations can come in your interviews. Can you write the code for these kind of combinations? Yes. So you should be able to write this on your own. And when you will be able to write is if you are regularly solving problems. And those who are actually solving problems regularly, you can see whenever I ask, have you solved this problem? There are certain people, they raise their hand. They are the ones who are regularly solving the problem. There are some who are not up to date. Some of them are almost with the answer. They are also regularly solving. They are learning step by step. But some of them are quite clueless because they are not regularly solving. So ask yourself, are you regularly solving or not? If you are someone who is regularly solving, definitely you will get an answer. Is that clear to you? Anyways, can we solve the next problem? Okay, let's go ahead with the next problem. You are given an array of integers. You need to print the maximum and the minimum sum of n minus 1 elements present in an array. Understood the question? No? Great. So there is one input given 5 and you are given 1, 3, 2, 5, 4. And for this the output should be these two numbers, 14 and 10. What does this question mean if you ask me? The question basically means to say, how many elements are there over here? 5. You should find the sum of 4 elements. 5 minus 1 is how much? 4. So if you find the sum of 4 elements, one possibility you get is 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5. Is that clear to you? What is the answer for that? How much? 11. So you are getting 11 over here. Next what I will do is this the only possibility or is there any other permutations? Is there other possibility of 4 elements? What is that? 3, 2, 5, 4. That is also possible. If I say 3, 2, 5, 4, what is the sum I will get? How much? 14. Is this the only 2 possibilities or more other possibilities are there? More other possibilities are there. Like that you will find so many possibilities. Among all of these possibilities, there will be so many possibilities. Let's assume we have one more possibility. 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4. 5 is not there. So again 4 elements, correct or not? What is the sum of that? 10. Like this you will get so many different numbers. 1 will be 14, 1 will be 10, 1 might be 12, 1 might be 13, 1 might be 17, 1 might be 19, like that. I don't know how many possibilities are there, so many permutations you will get. Among those permutation, you should not print all the numbers. You should print only 2 numbers. What are the 2 numbers you need to print is, one is the, oh sorry, let's assume 17 and 19 is not there. So one is that you need to print the minimum value. What is the minimum value? 10. And one is the maximum value. So you need to print the minimum value and the maximum. Is that clear to you? So in case if there are 5 numbers, you will find the sum of 4 numbers. If there are 10 numbers, you will find the sum of 9 numbers. If there are 100 numbers, you will find the sum of 99 numbers. So the number of combinations also will increase as the numbers increases. You should take care of that as well. Is the question clear to everyone? Please write the code. Yes, you answer. Banu Teja, yes, it is standard to return -1. All languages follow the same standards. By the way, there is a constraint over here. If anyone is thinking of sorting the array, sorting is not allowed. Anyone has the answer? Good. Close your. Good. Who has solved here? Good. Who else?
Right, sir.
Yes.
Got the logic.
Yes.
So what are you doing? We are summing all the elements. For the maximum elements, we are removing the minimum element.
You're understanding? Then why are you feeling so dull in the class?
Yesterday,
Huh?
Yesterday only, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, if you print here itself in the method,
If I want, it won't be possible, then what should be print?
If you write break over here, the thing is over here also it might print.
Yeah.
Correct, right? For that you need to write an extra, what is that? Extra condition. For that condition you need to write one extra statement over here to check whether the control came over here. For that one variable you need to create. You need to change the value of that. Better is write a single line return. Yes.
Then
Correct.
We can eliminate.
Yes. Great. Let's close your books. Quite a complex problem, right? Yes. So you need to find so many combinations over here. So let's see, write down all of them one by one. So these are the array elements. Is it visible till the end? Yes? Last bench. Oh. So there are multiple combinations. The first combination is 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4. There is one number missing. Which is that? 5. So there are 4 numbers over here. N value is 5. N minus 1 is 4. So sum of 4 numbers. What is the value? Some value you will get. So 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 5. You will get another sum. In that which is missing? 4 is missing. Similarly, you have another sum over here. In this which is missing? 2 is missing. Similarly, there is another possibility. 1 is missing. And similarly, you have another possibility where 3 is missing. So if you see each of this, in each of this one number is missing. So is there any other possibility apart from these possibilities? See and observe. Any other possibilities? There is no other possibility apart from this. How much ever you think, you will not get any other possibility. So basically, what we are doing is, we are taking this array. In the first possibility, we will remove this. Second, we remove this. Third, we remove this. Fourth, we remove this. Fifth, we remove this. So how many elements are there? So many possibilities. That's all. Many were thinking how to find how many possibilities are there. So I can write the loop accordingly. So this is the simple thing. Now let's find the sum of each one of this. 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4, how much is that? 10. Next one, how much is that? 11. Okay. Next one? 13. Next one? 14. Next one? You got the sums. Did I ask you to print all the sums or only 2 sums? Which are the 2 sums? Maximum one in this, what is that? 14. Minimum one in this, what is that? 10. So you should print only 10 and 14. And that's why when this array was given as input, the output was only 10 and 14. Is the question clear to everyone? Did you understand what are the different possibilities and all of this? Now how can we write the code for this? What I will do is, let's see the logic side first. Those who are writing can close your books and keep. So if I take all these numbers, all the numbers present in this array is available over here, but one number is missing. Can you say which is the number missing in this? 5. I will put 5 over here. So basically we had to print 10 and 14. Anyways, we will come back over here. So what number is missing? 5 is missing. If I put 5 over here, then what happens is, if I add all of this now, if I put 5 and add all of this, then what is the sum I will get? 15. Great. Over here as well, there is one number missing. Which is that number? 4. I will get that 4 over here. Similarly over here, there is one number missing. Which is that? 2. I will just put that number over here. I am not adding it, I am just putting that number. Similarly over here, one number is missing. Which is that? 1. I will just put that 1 over here. Similarly over here as well, one number is missing. Which is that? 3. So I will put that number. So if we ignore this, then we have n minus 1 elements, correct or not? But if I consider this number, what is the sum I will get for this? 15. If I add for this, what is the sum I will get? 15. So basically this is giving you how much? 11. 11 plus 4 is 15. Similarly, this is giving you how much? 13. 13 plus 2 if I do, what is our value? 15. Similarly, this is giving you 14. 14 plus 1 if I do, what is the sum I am getting? 15. Similarly, if I have this, this is 12. 12 plus 3 is equal to 15. Is that clear to you? So now if you see, all the possibility looks like the same possibility, correct or not? Because all of them are giving the same sum or not? Yes. And what is that if you ask me? It's nothing but sum of all the elements present in an array, correct or not? Yes or no? If I ask you to find the sum of all the elements present in an array, can you write the code or not? How many of you can write the code? Raise your hands. To find the sum of all the elements present in an array. Okay, almost everyone can write the code. Great. But we don't want sum. What we want is 10 and 14. In case if I need 10, what should I do is, I have this sum. In this sum, if I remove this particular element, 5, will I get it or not? Yes. Now how do I represent this 5 in that array if you ask me? That 5 has a special status in this array. Can you say what? 5 is the maximum number in an array. Do you know how to find the maximum number? So then find the maximum number as well. And after you find the maximum number and find the sum as well, all you need to do is sum minus max. So 15 minus 5, what will you get? 10. Is that clear to you? So that's the answer you will get. Same way, you know how to find the sum. You want 14. How do you get 14? From this 15, if you remove this element, what is this element? 1. And how do I get this particular 1? 1 is nothing but minimum value in this array, correct or not? If I remove this minimum value, I will get 14. So all I need to do is sum minus min. Is that clear to you? So what we need to do over here, we need to find the sum, we need to find the max, we need to find the min. Sum minus max, can you do or not? Sum minus min, can you do or not? That is your code. Is it clear or not? Very complicated, right? Did you know how to find sum? Did you know how to find max? Did you know how to find min? Everyone in the class knew this. Only thing you didn't know is subtraction. That's why I taught you subtraction. Subtraction also you knew? Yes. Then what you did not know? You knew everything. But the problem is, you knew that separately, this separately, this separately. You didn't know how to combine all three and solve a problem. So that is what is called as engineering. So you have successfully failed in engineering. Means, if this comes, I will copy paste. If this comes, I will copy paste. How to solve a problem, don't ask me. That's what you have done in your engineering. But engineering means solving a problem. And that is what people are looking in IT industry as well. They are looking for such people who can solve a problem. They don't want someone who just know Java, SQL. They want people who can solve problems. Because today you have Java and SQL. Tomorrow you will have JavaScript. Day after tomorrow you will neither have Java nor JavaScript. Something else will come. And you know what is that something else? English. You just have to say in English, you will get the answer. And it's already in process. And it's already happening. Is that clear to you? So you don't have to write code in some Java language or C language or Python language. Simply natural language like English or Hindi. If you type, it will give you the necessary output. This is where the world is running. Now when everyone is giving in writing or when everyone is giving in English, don't you think everyone can become developers? Now who has more demand if you ask me? Who can solve problems? Everyone can type in English, but can everyone think and break down the problem into smaller problems or not is the question. Means you need to write, find the sum, find the min, find the max. Now subtract min from sum, subtract max from sum. You need to write 5 sentences. If you need to write this 5 sentences, first you need to think. This is what is engineering. And this is what your engineering colleges should have taught you. And this is what you should have learned. But everyone has failed in this. But one thing I will say, if you want to succeed in your career, you need to work on this skill. Because this is a skill which will pay you the highest. I have not solved some rocket science. I have just found the minimum, maximum and a sum value which each one of you taught is a simple coding question. But when I showed this coding question, it became a complex coding question. Apart for 3-4 of them. That is the reality. So please make sure that every day you continuously keep thinking. If you do not think from different perspectives, then you will not get answers. The problem right now is you have stopped thinking. That's what you are doing. I will teach, you will remember what all you have taught, and so one extra thing that you do is, since we have a Thai platform, you will code. Those who are coding. Some of them are not even doing it. After this, what? Just listen. Reels, 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 reels. What are you doing? In reels, are you thinking or are you just consuming? Just consuming. You are spoiling your brain doing that. One simple situation of this is, let's assume you watched around 30 reels. How many reels did you watch yesterday? Okay. Reels is good or bad? It is good. I don't know why you say bad. It is actually good. Because some of them will come and say, interview tips. You will save that and keep, correct or not? Right. So how are you saying that it is bad? It is helping you, correct or not? But the problem is, people will go and see girls dancing over there. Or someone commenting about someone else. That is the problem. Is that clear to you? Not only that, along with that particular thing, I will come. You have seen so many reels, correct? Just say me all the reels that you saw yesterday. Can you say me which all reels you have seen yesterday? If you have seen 100 reels, I will guarantee you can't even say 10 reels out of it. Am I right or not? So within 24 hours, you are not even able to remember 10% of what you have taught. That's your brain. To that extent, you have brought down your memory level. And that's how it is spoiling. Because when you continuously watch reels, first of all, it's stress for your eye. Along with that, it's stress for your brain as well. Because short form contents is not good for your brain. It will keep giving dopamine effect, but it is not good. And if you had observed carefully, if you continuously watch for 30 minutes or a longer time, do you feel relaxed or do you feel kind stressed out? It's guaranteed you will not feel relaxed. Am I right or not? Yes. So this is the reality. You are spoiling your brains doing these things. And some of them will say, sir, reels is good, sir. We have saved so many things about interviews and we have kept. I will ask you one question. How many times you have gone to your saved section and you have watched those videos? How many times? Probably 0 times. Thinking it will come for use in future. One time someone is saying as a great achievement. Great. So, this is the reality. This is how social media is consuming you. You are not consuming social media. But if you want to become good at these things, understand how your brain works and do those necessary things. Is that clear to you? If you do not do what your brain needs, then you will obviously fail. And since you failed, that's why you are in TAP Academy. If you had not failed, you would have not been in TAP Academy. You would have been working in a AC room itself like this. But you would not be listening to a lecturer like that. Rather, one manager will give you a requirement. You will write the code. You will give it to that. End of the month, every month, you will get 25, 30,000, 40,000 in your account. But right now, what is happening? 5,000 or 7,000 to PG every month it's going. But nothing is coming inside. That's what is happening. Because 4 years successfully you have wasted. Don't waste this 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Put your 100%. Because that's how your brain works. Understand how your brain works. Your brain knows how to find sum, how to find max, how to find min. You need to understand in your brain there are millions of neurons. That's how the brain works. In those millions of neurons, everything that you see for the first time, there is some structural change in your neurons. So some part of your neurons know how to find the sum, some part of your neurons know how to find the min, and some part knows how to find max. But the problem over here is these neurons are not connected with each other. That's how the brain works. Now, how can we connect these neurons, sir? It will not automatically connect. You need to see such patterns again and again and again. When you see such patterns again and again, this new set of neurons will start communicating with this set of neurons. When they start communicating with those neurons, automatically your brain will see patterns in this particular thing. And that's how you become skilled. That's how you improving your problem solving ability. This is how your brain works. I am saying in the psychological level as well. If you want, you go and do your research. If you do not see patterns again and again, means different kinds of problems again and again, then your neurons will never work. They will only be interested in reels. That time, when it has not even thought about how to find sum, how to find min, and it has not connected, so problem solving will not improve. You have to do something to improve that. You need to do some structural change among these neurons to do that. And that can be done only by solving more and more patterns in the sense more and more kinds of problems and different kinds of problems. And that's the reason, rather than teaching each and everything inside the class itself, we have designed the course in such a way that some of the problems are done here and some of the problems are small changes in this itself, so that your brain will start encountering new things. While structuring that, we simply didn't copy paste questions from Google. In the psychological level, we have went down and we have identified the questions accordingly, and that's how it has been put over there. So there is a lot of efforts which has gone over there. To this extent, TAP Academy is thinking and making sure that each one of you become good at each of the aspects. So please utilize this, because you have a greater competition. Who are sitting over here is not your competition. There are so many people sitting in different institutes, so many people sitting at their home. These are your competitions, and they don't have all of this, but you have it. But if you have it and if you do not utilize it, you are equivalent to them. But if you utilize it, you are in the next level. So please utilize all of these things and do not waste your time in Bangalore. You have already wasted 4 years successfully. At least invest your time over here. Do not go and watch Instagram every day. It's better if you uninstall Instagram till you get a job. You are not going to lose anything. Some of them, I will not get updates of my friends, what they are doing. Why do you want their update? Why do you want their update? Let them do whatever they want. After you get a job, you call them, you have their number, call them and give them a party. That's all. Then you take update from them regularly. You also give update to them regularly. But now, right now you are interested, what is my friend doing? Where is my friend going for New Year? Where is my friend going for Christmas? Are they going for clubbing or not? All these things you are interested. This is not good for your brain. Understand it. And please make sure you make the best utilization of all the tools and technologies that is provided to you. And morning till evening, your agenda should be learn. Simply if you meditate and say job, you will not get job. Understand, you need to work towards it. Is that clear to you? If I sit in my home and think, I will teach programming for 200 students today, will you learn programming? I have to get up and I have to come on stage and I need to teach. Only then you will learn programming. So same way, if you simply think job, you will not get job. You need to wake up in the morning and make sure you have a schedule for a day. How I have a schedule for a day. 10 o'clock I will take class for one people, certain concept. 12 o'clock another class. 2 o'clock another class. 4:30 another class. Next, planning for the next day. This is how my day is. Like this is how every working professional's day is. They plan their day. They know what they do every hour. Do you have any such plan? No. That's why you are failing. If you have a plan and if you follow the plan, you will not fail. You don't have a plan at the first place. That's why you fail. And there is already a saying, a man who fails to plan, plans to fail. And that's what you are following. And you have been successful in the previous years. And still you want to be successful in the next upcoming months. Please make sure you go and prepare a plan for the day. You need to have a plan for weekdays as well as for weekends. And do this. It will help you out. And one more thing, in each of your phones, first make sure that you calculate your watch time or the screen time of your phone every day. That day you will start realizing how much time you are wasting every day. How much time on Instagram, how much on YouTube, Netflix, Prime, Put that. It will say, your mobile will calculate. 4 hours if it shows as screen time in your mobile. You say in that 4 hours what productivity you have achieved in that 4 hours. If it is nothing, 4 hours you could have learnt 2 classes of mine. That's the difference. And in that 2 classes you already know how much you can learn and how much it can help you. This is the difference. So start evaluating all these things. If you don't do that, as I mentioned, you are already planning to fail. Do you want to fail or you want to succeed? Succeed means have a plan and follow that plan. And please make sure you do not waste any day and even the weekends as well. Weekends is not for you. Weekends is for those people who work from morning till evening and they are earning and now they want to spend the money that they have earned. You have not earned anything. You have just spent. From where someone is dropping money for you. Correct or not? Parents. That's what you are spending. What are you spending from your own? Absolutely nothing. So if your parents are millionaires, great. If your parents are not millionaires, understand they are sacrificing a lot to spend on you. You understand soon, you are well matured. If you don't understand, then you know what it is. That's it. Have a great day. Don't waste your time and please solve problems.